All right, today we're going to be changing out the ignition system on a gas boiler. Now, a little context here. This is a Weil McLean boiler. It's power vented. It does have an electronic ignition on there, but it's kind of a weird old style. This type of job can also be done on a boiler that has a standing pilot. Now, they make a kit for this, and I actually saw this kit in FW Web. Theoretically, I could have made all this stuff up myself, but I called over to FW Web today and asked about the kit. The guy didn't know what I was talking about. I said, I'll tell you what, I know exactly where it is. If I was to walk in the front door, the counter to the right, about dead center of the counter, that shelf right there, first thing on the right-hand side, you'll see it there. I got this salesman to get up from his desk, and I shit you not, he goes and he picks this thing up, and I know he's holding it in his hand looking at it. And he says, I'm showing that I have one in stock. I thought that was funny. I said, I'll tell you what, go on back to your desk, write up an invoice for it, have it printed out at the counter, have a warehouse guy that's 1,000 feet away right now come and pick it from that shelf and bring it to the counter, which is also like 4 feet away. I'm about 45 minutes away, should be almost ready by the time I get there. So anyway, for those of you that don't understand what's going on here, I took out the other ignition control. I put in a new gas valve. Now the kit had actually included a part that I could put on there as a spark ignition for a standing pilot. I didn't use that. I just used a different pilot assembly. For this particular boiler, it wouldn't have fit well on the bracket. And I put in an 8610U universal ignition control, wired it to the end of my 24-volt circuit, and now I have a new spark ignition, or intermittent pilot, as they say. And now when the boiler is calling for heat, I'll get a spark, I get a pilot, and after a preset period of time, we've got flame. And that's great news, because it was freaking freezing in here. Anyway,